Well, thank you for watching our weekly podcast again this week. We have made some progress in the Senate, and I wanted to report on that. First of all, we've passed a postal reform bill through the Senate, and we hope now that the House will do the same. This is legislation that essentially changes some of the requirements on the Postal Service so that they are better able to return to solvency. The sad reality is the Post Office, Postal Service has been losing money each year. I think the cause of that, a major cause, is that people are no longer sending first-class postage and mail. A lot of people used to send first-class letters to pay their bills, and now more and more people are doing that online. So there's much less in the way of first-class mail, and of course that's a major source of revenue for the post office. But this legislation we passed allows them to take actions, some of which frankly are not going to be what we would want, but they are going to have to consolidate some of their operations. They're going to have to reduce the number of people working in the postal system. And they're going to have to become more able to compete with the private sector and more able to generate the revenue they need to operate. So we think this legislation is constructive. It's not anything that anyone endorses 100%, but it is some painful medicine that we think we have to take in order to keep the Postal Service in operation. So I supported it. And the bill, as I say, now goes to the House of Representatives. We hope very much they will support it. If they do not, and if we cannot get agreement on this legislation or some version of this legislation, then the Post Office will have to take unilateral action. And we think that would be substantially worse for rural post offices in New Mexico and mail distribution centers generally. So we hope this does get passed in some version that resembles what we've just done in the Senate. The other legislation we're now really beginning to debate and serious is the Violence Against Women's Act. This is legislation that was first enacted in 1994, and so it's been in place now for about 18 years, and it does provide support for law enforcement in dealing with the problem of violence against women. It's been a help to law enforcement in New Mexico. This new version of it that we're going to try to enact in the next few weeks will strengthen the provisions of the law, will make it clear that resources need to be available to deal with the problem of violence against women and families on Indian reservations to a greater extent than they have been in the past as well. So I hope we can make progress on that bill as well in the next few weeks, and we will try to keep you updated. Again, thanks for watching the podcast.